What in the heck? Afghani beats dollars just within a year. Hello there guys, namaste and welcome to O Reacts. Another day, another video, another reaction. This is me, Onasi, and here we have for you news from Afghanistan. So the news reads, Afghani beats dollars becomes the world's best performing currency. How? This is from First Post and I wanted to look into this, what it is all about, because we all know what happened in Afghanistan a few years ago, a year ago or something like that. So let's go and check it out.
I have a question for you now. What is the world's best performing currency right now? Your first guess might be the US dollar, perhaps the euro, Japan's yen, even the British pound. But let me tell you, all of these currencies are being outshadowed by this one, the Afghani. It's the currency of Afghanistan, the Afghani, and it's the top performer right now. The Afghani has beaten all other
Okay, the currency of Afghanistan is Afghani.
currencies. Its value shot up in the month of July, and since then it has grown by 9%. This is against the US dollar, and this makes the Afghani the best performing currency in this quarter.
Okay. And then they were second guessing Afghanistan and the economy.
What about this year? Not too bad. In 2023, its value has increased by 14% so far.
Okay.
The Afghani ranks third in the pecking order, right behind Colombia's peso and the Sri Lankan rupee.
Wait a minute. Sri Lankan rupee, South Asian currency, is running strong right now this quarter. Nepal, where are we? What are we doing?
Now let's take a closer look at these numbers. After the Taliban's return, the Afghani had collapsed. At the time, $1 got you about 104 Afghanis.
Okay.
And what's the value today? $1 is worth about 78 Afghanis, so it's better than the Indian rupee.
Exactly.
The currency has made a significant recovery. And how did this happen? Did the Taliban take a crash course in macroeconomics? Well, certainly not. But when they seized power, they wanted to control the Afghani too. They wanted to control the currency, so they came up with some rules.
Okay.
The Taliban announced a ban on the US dollar and the Pakistani rupee.
Okay.
Locals were not allowed to use them, and transacting in these currencies was banned.
Okay, if you guys remember, Nepal did the same thing. King Mahendra did the same thing. Like, he wanted to promote Nepali rupee. I'm not sure if he banned it, but there was some kind of restriction with it. Because of it, Nepali rupee was much more in the market. And now the Taliban is doing something similar.
In 2021, all foreign currencies were declared illegal in Afghanistan. So now the Afghani is the only option for the people there. If you want to buy something from the local markets, that's what you use, the local currency. Earlier this year, more restrictions kicked in. The Taliban once again targeted the US dollar. They imposed an export cap.
Okay.
People leaving Afghanistan could only take a certain amount of dollars with them, and the restrictions were very specific. If you're crossing by the land border, you could take up to $500, 500 US dollars. If you're flying out of an airport, you could carry up to 5,000 US dollars. These new rules apply to online trading as well. In 2022, the Taliban banned online forex trading.
Okay.
And you have to hear the reason for this. The Taliban said forex trading is against Islam. Full marks for creativity. At this rate, the Taliban could give China's Communist Party a run for their money.
Cynical. I mean, they banned the forex trading, and I think not just direct forex trading, but also online. So.
And they did not stop at the statement, by the way. They released a video to drive home the point. It was shared by Afghanistan's Reserve Bank. It showed two men in a boxing gym. While throwing punches, they're discussing forex trading.
Okay.
And how it's against the Muslim faith. That's what they're discussing.
Okay.
Now, these decisions had a ripple effect. Foreign currencies became scarce in Afghanistan. Their circulation dried up, and people started using the Afghani, which is why its value is increasing. So this is not some masterstroke. The surge will plateau. And it doesn't change the fact that Afghanistan's economic situation is dire. There is rampant unemployment. 2/3 of the households here cannot make ends meet. And the Taliban is in no position to help. It doesn't have a lot of money to start with. How do they run the economy? Mostly through economic aid.
Okay.
The United Nations has tried to help since the end of 2021 for a period of 18 months. Aircraft carrying large stacks of cash were sent to Afghanistan. Do you know how often these deliveries were made? Nearly every week. And how much money did the Taliban get? We don't have an exact number, but going by some claims, the UN delivered up to $40 million every week.
UN delivering $40 million every week.
This money transported in planes because the banks cannot do it. Afghanistan cannot access the global banking system, which is why the cash is moved in planes. And what did the Taliban do with this money? Once it was transported to Kabul, the dollars were converted into the Afghani. That's the currency of Afghanistan. And then it is released into the market. So you could say the UN also had a hand in propping up the Afghani. In a way, they're supplying US dollars and buying Afghanis in exchange. Despite all of this support, the economy is a mess. Before Kabul fell, Afghanistan had at least $9.5 billion in reserves. Now this money is frozen. The US and its allies cut off Kabul's access in 2021. It happened right after the democratic government fell.
We all saw that was some of the horrifying videos that were surfacing on internet a year and a half ago. I mean, people falling from plane.
Now, recently, Washington said it will release some of these funds, but then the plan was put on hold. The US found that Afghanistan's central bank is not independent. Washington had concerns. It feared that the money could end up in wrong hands, that there are no checks and balances, anti-money laundering controls, or safeguards against terror financing.
Okay.
This should not be surprising. After all, a terror group is running this country. What else did the US expect? So the Taliban will keep asking for more aid while millions of Afghans continue to suffer. Usually a strong currency.
The term this media used was a terror group. I mean, they are in power right now, so I think they have to watch what they are saying. I'm not trying to insult the government there, but what do you people think about them? Write down in the comments. I want to know what Afghanistani people think about the government and how they perceive them now to when they took over the government.
He is a source of national pride. But for the Taliban, a strong Afghani is like having a gun that won't shoot.
Okay, that was that. Very interesting. I mean, it's good that Afghani beats dollar, but there was this story behind it. Very interesting. I don't know how the economics of the currency works. To some extent, I think it's valued with gold, and that's how the value of the currency stays strong, and that's what the BRICS are doing. But other than that, I don't have much knowledge about it. Even then, it was really informative and interesting to watch this news. And yes, that was that. Saying that, people, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, share, subscribe, and until next time, keep smiling and stay humble. Namaste.